All right, let's dive into something, well, kind of mind-bending. We're going to explore an idea that really challenges our basic gut-level feeling about reality. The idea that the solid, separate you that moves through time might just be an illusion. And the reality is actually something way more dynamic, way more fluid than we think.
You know, this whole thing really starts with some ancient wisdom. Way back, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said this, and it's brilliant. Everything is in constant flux. This idea of a river that's always changing, and you are always changing, that's our jumping-off point into the real nature of now.
So we all talk about now. We think of it as this tiny little sliver of a moment, right? A single point on a timeline sandwiched between the past and the future. But, and this is a serious question, if you stop and try to find that exact moment in your own experience, where is it?
Yeah, our brain just loves this image of a little blinking cursor moving steadily across a page from left to right. That's now, but just try to pin it down. Go ahead. The very instant you think, okay, this is now, poof, it's already gone. It's in the past. So is that mental picture even real, or is it just a convenient story we tell ourselves to make sense of things?
And this gets right to the heart of it. We never, ever actually experience the past or the future directly. Think about it. What we call the past is just a memory, a thought that is happening, well, now. And the future, that's just anticipation, another thought, also happening now. They aren't actual places you can go, they're just thoughts popping up in this present moment unfolding.
Okay, so let's build on that. Let's use a really powerful analogy to see what this means for who you are. Because if now isn't a single point, but the whole flowing river, then what does that make you?
This leads us straight to a concept called non-duality. Big word, simple idea, not two. It's the idea that the separation we feel between me over here and the world out there is fundamentally an illusion. And there's no better way to get this than the relationship between a whirlpool and a river.
This table just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the whirlpool. It looks like a separate thing, right? It has a name, a form, but it's totally temporary. And what is it made of? It's 100% water. It's not a separate object in the river. It's just the river doing a little dance. It's the river whirling.
And this quote, wow, you are a verb, not a noun. That just nails it. A noun is a thing, an object, something static and fixed. But a verb? A verb is an action, a process, a happening. You're not a thing called a person. You are the universe in the process of, well, personing.
So putting it all together, we're not a noun, a little object floating down the river of time. We are the verb. We are the rivers flowing, just temporarily showing up in this particular pattern that we call a self. It's a huge shift from being a thing to being a process. Okay, so if you're the flow, this continuous action, then what on earth is time? Let's take a crack at deconstructing one of the most basic things we take for granted. To do that, we got to talk about a concept called prana. Now, you've probably heard it translated as life force, which makes it sound like some kind of substance, like electricity. But it's more accurate to say prana is the root verb to breathe forth. It's not a noun, it is the flowing. It's the universal river of reality itself. Now, with that idea of prana as the river, what is time? Well, time isn't the river. It's a mental tool we invented to measure the river. It's like this conceptual net we throw over this ceaseless, unmeasurable flow, just to chop it up into seconds and minutes and years so our brains can handle it. But the net is not the river.
This slide, this really reframes our whole world. It shows the appearance versus the reality. We think of space as this empty box holding all the stuff, but maybe it's actually the flow itself appearing as dimension. We see time as this line of moments, but it could be the flow appearing as the sequence of our thoughts, and the self, not a noun moving through time, but a verb, the flow becoming aware of itself.
And what's amazing is that ancient traditions didn't just write this down in books. They created a complete symbolic map for this whole concept. They encoded this entire cosmology into one single sacred sound, Om.
So Om isn't just one long droning sound. It's actually a process, a four-part journey. And this journey perfectly mirrors the unfolding of reality itself, from creation to the inner world to dissolving back into the source.
So the first sound is ah, pronounced like ah. It starts at the back of the throat and your mouth opens wide. This is the birth of the physical world, the Big Bang. It's the flow expanding outward, creating space, creating the world you see and touch.
Then the sound rolls forward in your mouth into a U, pronounced like ooh. This represents the inner world, the dream state. This is the world of thought, of mind, where the flow tells itself stories, creating the feeling of a timeline, of sequence.
And finally, the M sound, where your lips close. This is the return to the source. It's like deep sleep, where all the forms and distinctions, space, time, you, me, they all dissolve back into that one undifferentiated flow. The whirlpool merges back into the river.
But here's the most profound part. The most important part of Om isn't the sound. It's the silence that comes after the sound. That silence isn't just emptiness. It's pure, unmanifest potential. It's the source itself. It's the river before it ever decides to become a wave or a whirlpool. It's where everything comes from.
Now, I know this can all sound really abstract, super philosophical, but the most incredible thing is that you can feel this truth directly, right now. It's happening in the most basic, fundamental process of your own body.
There's this amazing saying, breathing is Om written in flesh. And it's not just some pretty poetry. Your own breath is a physical, living version of this entire cosmic process. You are literally living out this cycle with every single breath you take.
Just feel your own breath for a second. That inhale, your chest expands, you're creating space, that's the ah sound. That little pause at the top of the breath, that moment of fullness, that's the oo. And the exhale, the release, the letting go, the return, that's the M. You see? You don't own your breath. You don't own your heartbeat. It's the rhythm of the universal river happening through you.
And that brings us right back to the central point of all this. You are not a noun, not a fixed thing being carried along by the river of time. You are the timeless flowing itself. You are the activity that our minds then invent the concept of time to measure.
So this leaves us with a final thought to sit with. This whole thing, this flowing, it's already happening. You're already it. You are the flow. So the only real question is, what changes for you when you stop trying to control it or define it, and you just become aware of this dynamic, ceaseless happening that you already are? What happens when you just notice?